Peace, 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 love, light of healing, peace, love, light of healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Blessings. Baruch atah, Baruch atah. Shalom, shalom alaikum, shalom lacha. To y'all. Blessings, family. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. Let's talk about some stuff. Let's talk about it. I've been seeing a lot of people in the comment boards asking, Yahki, I'm a Caucasian. What diet am I supposed to be eating? Yahki, I'm Hispanic. What diet am I supposed to be eating? Yahki, I'm Russian. What diet? Are you talking about me? Huh? Racism causes separation. I am not a racist, y'all. I just be spitting facts. Everything I say is scientific and I can back it up. Everything. There's nothing that come out of my mouth that I can't back up or that I cannot prove. So I want to talk and touch on some things real quick, and then we got questions, y'all. We got some questions. So I want to talk about dieting and I want to talk about food. So, what's crazy is everybody been asking me what is food lately. So if you can hear me and if you can see me, before we get started, let me know. Type in some nines. And look, let's dive deep into this. That way we won't have to keep asking these questions and I don't have to keep addressing a lot of people in my comment board. I don't even comment for real anyway, but when I do, it be questions like these. So if you can hear me well and if you can see me very good, type in some nines. Make sure you got your pen and your pad because we finna go in. We finna go in deep, y'all. We're going to go in deep. And then we're going to answer some questions. We're going to pull out some cadavers. And we're going to have some fun with this. It's going to be a fun learning experience or remembering experience. I'll get a few more nines and we're going to get to it. Okay, perfect. So the question of today is, what is food? A lot of us do not understand, overstand, or understand what food actually is. A lot of us think food is just something that you put in your mouth, something you chew, and then you go to the bathroom, you defecate it out. But food is very, very, very important because food is supposed to be fuel for the body. Food is supposed to be fuel for the spiritual body. Food is supposed to be fuel for your mental capacity. Food is supposed to be fuel. So if you're eating something and it's not the right adequate amount of fuel or the right type of fuel, then you can't technically call it fuel. It might be fuel for somebody else's body, but it's not fuel for yours. All right. I teach that we are frugivores. A lot of people when they think about frugivores, they just think that you're chewing on apples all day. No, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of fruits that you can eat that you don't even think that are fruits. You actually think that it's vegetables because the USA have classified these things as vegetables to actually escape tax laws, bringing these things in from out of states. Like for instance, you would call a cucumber a vegetable, but a cucumber is a fruit. You would call quinoa or the legume family, the Caryopsis fruit family, a vegetable or a seed. These things are fruits. We have to realize what fruit is. Fruit is fuel for the black man and the black woman, but fruit is fuel for any other race as well. And I'm going to get deep into why I'm saying that. So first thing we have to do is we have to classify or reclassify what fuel is. Fuel is actually food and fuel for the body. And this fuel is supposed to be ATP, which stands for adenosine triphosphate. What adenosine triphosphate does is it's yielded by the mitochondria within inside of 150 trillion cells of your body. And it's supposed to fire off basically H2O2, H2O, and H3O, but the highest form is H3O2. All right. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about somebody speaking about me against H3O2. I'm not here to argue with nobody. All of my facts are out there. I have over at least 20 hours of videos of presentations of me talking about H3O2, of me talking about H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide, talking about O3, which is ozone, which is another oxygen that you get from the atmosphere, talking about H2O, which is another hydrogen, oxygen, or oxide that you get from the water sources of your rock bed. I mean, all of them. So I don't need to be debating, and I only debate my equals anyway. So I don't need to be debating, going back and forth with anybody about whatever. All of my work is out there, and if 2 minutes of work, if 2 minutes of somebody saying something can dispel or debunk over 25 to 30, maybe even 40 hours of hard research presentations, me pulling up, scientific articles, me pulling up scholarly articles from different universities. If you can believe that, then you shouldn't be following me anyway, because you don't have the intellectual capacity to even understand, overstand, and understand the downloads or the uploads that we be receiving and that we putting out for anybody. See that? So I only debate my equals. I have the work hours put in. We have all the clinical trials put in. We have the real healing testimonies, not the lies. We are real over here. We deal with real people. I literally sell thousands and thousands of not just one product. I'm not just pushing one product. We pushing geogenetic herbal therapy. We dealing with cancers. We dealing with the viruses, the HIVs. We dealing with the lymphodemas. We dealing with, you have 3 different classifications of pathologies. You have acute, you have subacute, you have degenerative, and then you literally have the last chronic stage. And we deal with those. We deal with the degenerative chronic diseases. And we turn these so-called diseases around. All the time. So I can't sit up here and be answering questions with y'all. Y'all have to really start using y'all mindset. And I know y'all hear a lot of new information, but y'all got to quit being so gullible. And that's why I really, really push research on y'all so much. Take everything I say as a lie. Take everything what anybody's saying as a lie, and then research these things yourself. And then once you research them, before you even come up with a conclusion, make sure you do comparative studies, because comparative studies is a part of studying and learning and remembering and retaining information. You see what I'm saying? Then you come up with your conclusion. But if you can listen to 50 hours of me prove something, and then you can hear a 2-minute video of somebody hating on me for whatever reason, because I don't even know these people, hating on me for whatever reason, and you can start questioning the conclusion that you came up with from watching so many hours of this video, from a 2-minute video, then Yahki is not the issue. The other person that's hating is not the issue. The issue is your mind frame, and the issue is you. Us as a people, I know we're looking for a savior. I know we're looking for new information. I know we're expanding our consciousness, but we have to start really digging into our own research. And what the scripture tell us to study, to show thyself approved, family. All right. And that's what we finna do today. So a lot of people get on here and they ask, Yahki, what is food? Yahki, what is food? Food is simple. Food is fuel for the human vehicle. Food is fuel for the human mind. Food is fuel for the neurological expression. Food is fuel for emotions. You eat things for energy, just like you can have something called food for thought. You are eating right now. And even though you're not eating a physical substance, you're still eating because you are hanging on my words and you're trying to download and you're trying to rearrange and process this information and knowledge. And from that, you gain something from it. So food is to gain. You're either gaining knowledge from food, you're either gaining energy from food, or on the back end, you're either gaining acidosis from food, or you gaining negative thoughts. So food is something that is fuel for the body. Now, just so happen to be everybody that makes up the so-called human race, so-called, because the word human is not even a 200-year word, y'all. It's very, very new, and it was created by college universities. All these different races, humans, African Americans, Caucasians. These are made up words. There's really no such thing as race, period. We are tribal people. There was only indigenous people here throughout the whole entire globe. And then from that, you see a spinoff and you start seeing mutations. And then you start seeing other people like Mongoloids and what you would call Caucasian and cavemen and, Asians and things like that spring forth. You have Homo sapiens sapiens. Then you have Homo erectus. You got Dravidians. You have so many different root races or classification of ethnicity groups, y'all. Now, I'll teach y'all this all the time. All you have to do is go into nature, family. That's all you got to do. Go into nature. You cannot show me. I'm talking about, and I talked about this in my last video, just speaking about the fowl kingdom, right? We have a bird kingdom that is mixed with so many different classifications of birds, y'all. The eagle, you have the hawk, you have the vulture, you have the parakeet, you have the crow, you have the hummingbird. Even though that they're all considered birds, family, all of them are in a different geographical location. All of their physiology is somewhat different, and all of them have a different food source. The hummingbird is not going to eat what the eagle and what the vulture eat. The hummingbird likes to eat its tree sap. The hummingbird likes to eat its nectar. The hummingbird likes to do things like that. See that? If the hummingbird would go eat roadkill like the vulture does, if the hummingbird would go and eat a fish like the eagle loves to eat, then the hummingbird would die, because that is not food for the hummingbird physiology. Same thing as the vulture. You will not catch a vulture eating sap. You will not catch a vulture sucking the nectar out of certain different flowers in nature, because it don't assimilate with its biology. It doesn't assimilate with its physiology, family. So if you can go through the feline, you can go through the feline family, you can go through the canine, or what you would call the dog, wild dog family. You can go through the actual reptilian family, and you can go through the bird family. You can go through even the sea. When we start talking about whales and dolphins and fish, all of them have different types of food. In the sea, you have carnivores, you have omnivores, and you have what you would call herbivores. You have fish that feeds off seaweed. You have fish that feeds off of, and you have fish that feeds off other fish. When you talk about the fowl kingdom, you have fowls that feeds off of actual vegetation, seeds, and sap and honey and things like that. But then you have fowls that feeds off of other fowls, carnivores. Same thing with reptilians. You have reptilians that eat vegetation. Then you have something like a Komodo dragon that will eat another Komodo dragon, or alligator that will eat a damn rhinoceros. But then you have other reptiles or reptilians that don't. So every group or classification of living mammals and species and reptilians and amphibians in the world, even though they're all classified under one different name based off their geographical location and their physiology and their biochemical molecular makeup, they eat different food. So this is my question, family. If we can prove this is simple science and this is simple research with every other living species on planet Earth, how come when it comes to so-called humans, because remember, that is a made-up word, how come when it comes to so-called human beings, we all supposed to eat the same thing? That is not correct, family. That is not correct. It's a lie. You see that? So then you have to start getting into the physiology of the so-called aboriginals of America, the so-called aboriginals of Africa, the so-called aboriginals of Australia, the so-called aboriginals of Asia, or what they call Asia, the so-called aboriginals of all these different continents, these original beings that originated in these different continents, that share the same neuromelanin that we have, that share the same genealogy that we have. We're just in different geographical locations. Notice when you check their physiology is different than every other people. I did a whole entire video on YouTube talking about the biochemical molecular difference of white people, black people, and Asians. It was a whole hour and 40 minutes. We pulled out scientific articles showing how our teeth is bigger and flatter than Caucasians, showing you that we assimilate closer to more than herbivores than theirs. Their teeth are more short and narrow and pointy, showing that they have the capability of tearing into flesh more than we do. We even went down to the stomach acidity, showing the acid content, how their hydrochloric acid inside of their stomachs is hotter than our hydrochloric acids. They actually produce more goblet cells than us. We went to the size of the brain, showing how our brains is bigger than theirs, especially when it comes to our frontal lobes and our cortex, showing that we are higher thinking people. Not saying that they ain't shit, not talking about them. I'm speaking of pure science, talking about our hair, how we have non-ether coil hair, what they call kinky hair that grows towards the sun. And when you look at their hair grow towards the ground, and it assimilates more as animal fur. We even have different classification. I have 6 ether hair. We have 9 ether hair. Let's start talking about the 12 melanated clusters on our brain, or what you would call the 12 cranial nerves, and how ours have these clusters that look like grapes, and they're black clusters around ours, and it's full of neuromelanin. But when you check theirs don't. Or how our thymus gland is 3 times bigger than theirs. Or how most of their pineal gland starts calcifying at the age of 7 and ours don't. And the size of our pineal gland is bigger than theirs. See, this is not racism. This is not us talking about them. And let's talk about the melanin content: eomelanin, pheomelanin, neuromelanin, crystallized melanin, magnetites, calcite, getting into crystals, getting into lipids. We have all of that. They have a little bit of it, but they don't have nearly as much as us. Let's talk about our noses. Our nose structure is different because we breathe air different based off the genealogy and where we come from. You see what I'm saying? Even our minerals. They mineral is calcium. Our mineral is iron phosphate. The Asian mineral is zinc and iodine. Then if you go over there, notice they don't have zinc and iodine problems. When you look at the Caucasian, he used to didn't have calcium problems. But the Negro always had iron problems because we missing it and we lacking in all of our diets on purpose. This is purposely done. So we have our own landmass. We have our own food. We have our own physiology. We have our own physiological structure. We have our own everything. We have our own mineral content. The biochemistry, molecular structure of our body is different. We have 150 trillion cells. They only have 50 trillion cells. This is scientifically proven. We have more diversity of bacteria, whether it's biobifidum bacteria or whether it's lactobacillus bacteria, whether it's H. pylori. That's why H. pylori is attacking us the way it is, called Helicobacter pylori. Even the bacteria is very diverse amongst us. You see that? Even our cells. Henrietta Lacks cells. This come from our lineage. This come from our bloodline. This come from our DNA ancestry. It's different. So if you can look out into nature and you can see that there's different classifications of animals and of mammals and of amphibians and of reptiles, and we see that they have a different food source, then why do you think we would have the same food source? That it don't make sense, man. I'm just trying to get you to question logic here. All right? Now, check this out. I'm a dietitian. I've been doing this for 12 years. We've been changing people's diets. We've been changing people to the frugivore diet. We've been looking and studying gorillas, studying and seeing what gorillas eat from chimpanzee. Even the monkey kingdom is different. Gorillas don't eat what chimpanzees eat. Chimpanzees don't eat what the rhesus monkeys eat. But they all called monkeys and primates. But guess what? All of them have different types of what, y'all? Diets. But they all classified as what? Primates. Some primates have tails. Some primates don't. See that? Caucasians. Yes, 32% of them grow tails. I've yet to see an Aboriginal American, an Aboriginal Afro-Can, an Aboriginal Australian grow a tail. So we see some of the Indians, they grow tails as well. So we see that they grow tails, we don't. These are facts, family. I'm not spewing hatred. I'm not even talking about nobody. I'm just stating facts that we are different. And if we are different from a biochemical molecular structure standpoint, our food must be different, because guess what food is? Food is fuel for the molecular structure. Because inside of fuel, you must have what? You must have amino acids. Amino acids rebuild deoxyribose nucleic acid, which is the DNA strand. This is how you express your genealogy. Not only that, the mineral content act as electrolytes and it act as glue to actually stick the amino acids together to make the full DNA structure for you can reproduce new cells out of the ribosome of the cell. Not only that, we have to talk about the H3O content in it. Not H3O2, but H3O. Because when you take in H3O2, it breaks down into H3O. Structured water. You see what I'm saying? So food is very important because food rebuilds the molecular structure. If our molecular structure is different, then that means we need a different type of food. Let me say it again. I don't think y'all catching the jewels here. And it's very, very simplistic, right? Food rebuilds the molecular structure. I have scientifically proven with so many hours that the molecular structure is different. So if the molecular structure is different and food build the molecular structure, that means each different molecular structure of classification of people have a different food. Now, this is what I want to talk about. When you get into the integrity of DNA, when you get into the integrity of the genome, the integrity of genetics, when you really, really get into the strength, the cellular proliferation of a cell, this is scientifically proven, and I'm not talking about this. This stuff is articles put out here. Melanated people are the original people on Earth. Aboriginals of all different continents is the original people here on this surface, on this multi-dimensional plane that we call Earth, right? We have something called prokaryotes or prokaryotic cells. That's what we ascend from. I hate the word descend, but that's what we ascend from. From that, we have evolved into eukaryotes or eukaryotic cells. But we still have more prokaryotes than eukaryotes. Now, scientifically proven, they have more eukaryotic cells than prokaryotic cells. So we have more prokaryotic cells. They have more eukaryotic cells. This is science, y'all. When you look at a single cell organism, or what you call a prokaryote, it has more structure functioning than an actual eukaryote. Eukaryotes just have more organelles. But the strength and the integrity of the cells is stronger in prokaryotes. And they was here longer. Matter of fact, they was here about 3 trillion years before the actual eukaryote. Now, mix this with melanin content, which is a protective polymer. Not only is melanin, or what we call carbon, a protective polymer, but it's a buffering system and is a detoxification agent, meaning it protects the cells, it tones the cells, it strengthens the cells, and it detoxifies the cells. We have more of that melanin content or more of that carbon constituent content and sugar in our bodies than anybody else on the world. And I'm talking about the indigenous people of all land, because we are all brothers and sisters. See, everybody talk about Pan-Africanism. I'm cool with that. I love the word Africa. I see what it means. It's a spiritual meaning. But I'm talking about Pan-Aboriginalists. The original people of each different continent is brothers and sisters, family. We are the originals here. Now, I'm saying all this to say this. And I'm not saying this in a derogatory way. I'm not saying this in a racist way. I'm not saying this to talk on anybody, talk down on anybody's genetics. These are facts. The Aboriginals that have copper skin, that have blue, black skin, whether you light skin, whether you caramel, if you come from melanin stock, your DNA is superior than any other so-called human being on planet Earth. These are facts. I'm going to say this again. These are facts. Before you challenge me, look up what I'm saying, family, because I'm not here being I'm not here spewing and spitting hatred. I'm here just telling the truth. So-called black man, so-called black woman, because black is the color of my hat. That's not a real thing. So melanated Aboriginal being, your DNA, your genes, your genome, your genealogy, in its whole biological expression is superior than any other human on planet Earth. Now, I know y'all asking me, why is this, Yahki? This is why I'm talking about this. Since you have a superior DNA, since you have a superior prokaryotic cell, since you have superior diversity of bacteria, since you have a superior hair protein, everything about you is superior. Even the way you act, how you move, you jump, you run, you can sing, you can fight. Everything you do is on an excellent high level. You literally are the descendants of the gods. Book of Psalms, chapter 86, verse 1 through 5, I believe. It says, didn't I say that ye are gods? You see that? But you will die like men. You will fall like the princes. Book of John, chapter 10, 34, I believe. Christ said, isn't it written that I said ye are gods, but you want to kill me and persecute me because I profess to be the Son of God? So even in the scriptures, whether we get into the Bible, whether we get into the Quran, whether we get into the Tanakh, whether you get into the Torah, whether you get into all these different ancient religions, all the way back to the Anunnaki, from the heavens, from the Hashemayim, they came to Eretz, they came to earth. We are literally the Anunnaki. We are descendants from God itself. You don't think that you are going to have a high consciousness food? For it can power a high consciousness mind? Do a Hellcat take the same gas as a lawnmower? No, it don't. That takes Hellcat gas because it needs to burn fuel fast. Do a luxury Rolls Royce take the same gas as a Altima? No, it don't. That take premium gas, 97. The Altima, you can put 87 unleaded in it. Now, different fuel, different gas for a different vehicle. Your body is a biological melanated vehicle that houses or that your consciousness rides around in. Your consciousness is you, interwoven and interconnected with the vehicle that we call the body. So if you have superior genes, superior DNA, then that means you need superior food or fuel. This fuel would be your fruits, berries, and melons. Why do I say that? This is why Yahki say that. Yahki say that is because of this. when you check the angstroms of energy. Yes, food can be measured by the angstroms of energies and units that yield from the fruit. And it's yielded by something called biophotons. These biophotons can be seen under a thermal microscope or an electrical microscope. You can still measure the hue and the electricity, the biophotons that's coming from the actual foods. All right. They take pictures of this stuff all the time. Scientifically proven. Now, check this out. When you actually check fruit yields 12,000 angstroms of energy. Scientifically proven. Even when it's in its decaying anaerobic process of rotting, going into putrefaction, it still yields more energy than vegetables. Then when you check the vegetables, it actually yields 9,000 angstroms of energy. See that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we talking about a 3,000 angstroms of energy difference. Now, when you get into math, if you're good at mathematics, you know when you start getting into angstroms, it go from 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000. So we literally talking about a crazy amount of difference between the angstroms of energy from the fruit and the vegetables. Fruits is highly electrical. Fruits have DNA in it. Fruits is fed by the sun. Fruits grow on trees closest to the sun. Fruits go through their photosynthesis and biosynthesis. Fruits are amazing because it yields high energy and it's lighter. It's easy to digest and process in the body. Fruits is the only thing that I have ever seen actually regenerate neurological cells, cleanse the body of neurological diseases, detox the body, strengthens the body, and tones the cells at the same exact time while giving you all the hydrogen that you need, or what we're going to call hydrogen peroxide, which is going to turn into water that you need to actually quench the body, rinse the cells, click on glutathione, turn on the NRF2 pathways to kick on a detoxification mechanism. We talking about fruits. 12,000 angstroms of energy. Then you go to the vegetables, which is still good. Not knocking the vegetable kingdom at all, but we are not herbivores. Can we eat herbs though? Yes, we can, of course. The herbs are for the healing of the nations. Hold on. Then you check the vegetables. 9,000 angstroms of energy. But you got to break through that cellulose. See that? Cellulose is hard because most of the stomach acid content that's produced, called pepsinogen, in your stomach can't even break it down. And you don't have wide enough teeth, or it don't go through two digestive process where you chew the cud and you spit it back up and chew it back down, because the cellulose wall, the actual mucous membrane, this polysaccharide sugar-coated mucous membrane on the plant material is too thick for you to even break this shit down. So that can't be food for you. And it comes with all types of anti-nutrients to actually protect itself, because the plant don't want you eating the leaf. The plant don't want you eating the root. The plant don't want you eating the stem. They want you eating the birthing part or the ovary part of the plant once it's matured, called the fruit, yielding seed after its kind. That shall be meat unto you. So the plants are very smart to protect or have all these lactins, all these saponins, all these tannins, all these phytates, all of them. all these oxalates. A plant will bind up so many different types of minerals in your body to prevent you from iron uptake, prevent you from calcium utilization, prevent the calcium matrix from pulling from calcitonin, actually pulling calcium from the bloodstream, the bone marrow, to buffer out acids, because the plant's telling you, don't eat me, save me. I'm for the herbivores. I'm from the 2-ton animals. I'm from the Brahmins, or what they call the cows, the Brahma. Yeah, I'm for the buffalo. I'm for the horse. I'm their food. But what I yield and what I birth and bring forth, which is the fruit yielding seed, that's for you, black man, black woman. So now we're starting to see, hold on. Oh, the so-called black man do have a food. His food is easily digestible. His food don't have too many polysaccharide mucus that's around the skin. It's hard to break in, called cellulose. Which is the reason why it's easy to actually mess up fruits too, because the mucus membrane layer of the skin is so thin. And that's why you should never, ever, ever, ever eat fruit that's not organic. Because all the herbicides and pesticides easily can pass the barrier between the lipid layer of the skin and of the flesh and go directly into the fruit. But this shows you that the fruit is for you. Huh? Yeah. Then you get to the vegetables, right? We get to the vegetable kingdom. You really can't eat that. They have all type of lectins in it, saponins, tannins, oxalates. I mean, so I can keep going on and so forth with that, because it's protecting itself to be food for the who? The 2-ton animals. Then you get to meat. You sure ain't a carnivore. There's nothing on your body that screams that you are a nurturer. You are a protector. You are not an aggressor. You are not a predator. We are a nurturing people. We are nurturing people. We built civilizations. We taught all the other so-called races how to wash their asses, how to civilize themselves, how to eat correctly, how to pray to God. We taught them spirituality systems. We taught them metaphysicians. We taught them everything. We are not killers like that. Now, we will protect the crib. We will protect the tribe. We will protect the woman and the children. We will protect the child. You see what I'm saying? But morals is different. Morality is different. Spirituality is different. Traditions and customs is different. Geographical location is different. Everything is different. So then you get to carnivores, you see that their whole physiology is different. So now we got herbivores. They have flat teeth, very wide. All their teeth is like that. If you look at an herbivore, his front teeth look like it look like molars. His front teeth, showing you that they made for chewing and grinding. Only thing you have to chew and grind like that all day is things that is made up of chlorophyll. This is called the vegetable kingdom. Vegetable. It's vegetation that you usually put on top of your table. Then when you check the anatomy of a so-called black man and black woman, their teeth is flatter, but it's not like a molar in the front, and they have little incisions on their lateral incisors. They do have canines, but their canines is not long, nearly as long as Caucasians, Asians, and especially ain't long as carnivores that you see in the feline kingdom in the jungle. All right. Now we're talking about the neurological aspect, the neurological output. If you check the IQ, so-called black people are smarter than any other race on planet Earth. This year, the Japanese have beaten so-called African Americans. But think about the school systems that we in and the subliminal programming that they putting our children in, making them dumber, feeding them junk foods, feeding them toxins, feeding them vaccinations and everything else, dumbing them down. So you'll start seeing other people's GPA be higher than ours. And they teaching us the wrong history, the wrong horror story. They lying to us about everything. So our children do not even want to do schools no more. They don't care. They going to school. They fighting. They fucking. They doing everything else but learning, because it is not intriguing them, because they are literally teaching the gods and the creators of the earth kindergarten teachings. And let alone they teaching them this crazy spellbound ass English language that confuses the hell out of everybody. Where? There. I mean, all types of crazy stuff. So even the language alone is dumbing us down. The language alone is dumbing down our consciousness. So of course we don't want to go to school and learn nothing. We talking about geniuses, black gods, come from ancestors that built civilization, that came from other dimensions of densities. The Anunnaki, we who came from heavens. We descendants of the gods, y'all, literally. And they trying to teach us lying history. They're trying to teach us mathematics that don't make sense. They're trying to teach us all. Of course they gonna get F's. Of course they bored in school. Of course you gotta take cell phones from them in school. They don't want to learn that shit, because their neurological capacity is way bigger than the teachers that's there. Look, I don't think y'all know what we really getting into here. We talking about a different education that needs to be for our people. We talking about a different food that needs to be for our people. We talking about a different way of approaching medicine that needs to be for our people. We talking about a different community that needs to be for our people. Different moralities, guidelines, rites of passages that needs to be for our people, because we are not all the same people. I don't know how much we really have to lay this out. And what's crazy to me, it is super, super simple. If you just get out of ego, get out of the programming and look at this shit, you be like, man, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something not right. So a superior genetics need a superior food. A superior intellect need a superior knowledge and education. Superior cells in melanin and melatonin need a superior sun. You need to get your ass out in that sun more. You see that? Superior sperm, meaning you're going to have all the children. They are depopulating. You are repopulating. Look this up if you think I'm lying, and I'm not being racist. I just want to show you the biological difference of us and everybody else. What is wrong with me telling you that you the best motherfucking thing that ever hit this earth? Nothing. You are. And that you have a food. Yes, God, you have a food, and that's your fruit. You are a natural frugivore. Am I telling you don't never dibble-dabble with vegetables? I eat vegetables all the time. And if I'm telling you never play around with creation and go eat you some good vegan food somewhere, I'm not even saying that. All I'm saying is you have a main diet and everybody else don't have that main diet. That's all I said. So for all the other classifications of people that say, well, I'm white, I'm Caucasian, I'm Asian, I'm this, I'm Russian, I'm Slovakian, I'm all these other things, I'm Puerto Rican, what can I eat? I'm going to sit here and tell you this. Let's just use a car as an analogy. All right. Would you, if you had the opportunity, you riding around in a Nissan Altima, you riding around in a Caprice, you riding around in all these other cars, not saying they low budget, not taking shots to anybody, but if somebody offered you the Rolls Royce, would you throw away the car you got and get the Rolls Royce? Yes, you would. Why? Because the Rolls Royce is superior. It come from a manufacturing company that took their time to make it. Most of them are custom made. It takes a higher fuel octane. It drives more smoother. It drives faster. It operates and it's function better than your current car. Same thing with any other race that genetics is not more superior than ours. Your best diet will be our diet. Because it's the highest consciousness diet that you can eat. I don't care if you blue, black, yellow, white, purple, pink. If you switch over to the frugivore diet that is actually made for a aboriginal people that's made of melanin, you will operate on a high entity of consciousness as well, because now you're tapping into higher fuel. So yes, will meat mess up your stomach? No. Could you do the carnivore diet? Yes, you can. But my people can't eat the carnivore diet. We can't eat too many complex amino acid proteins. Our biochemical molecular structure can't break that shit down. You see what I'm saying? So you can eat what we eat because it will better you. I'm speaking to all non-melanated aboriginal people. You can eat what we eat. It will better you. We cannot eat what you eat. It will kill us. You can follow our spirituality and our spiritual systems. It will better you. We can't follow your paganistic spiritual systems. It will kill us. You can drink what you want to drink. We can't drink that. It will kill us. But you can come over through this H3O2 side, this H2O2 side, this O3 side, this HO3 side, this H3O side, and it will better you. See that? You get what I'm saying? So y'all can eat anything we eat if it's talking about the higher consciousness. Yes, it will better you. Just like back in ancient times when we came and we civilized a lot of y'all. Yes, we did. Look this stuff up. We actually civilized a lot of these other different people. We did. We taught y'all spiritual systems. We taught y'all science. We taught y'all how to invent things. We taught y'all the way of electricity. Where you think Nikolai Kola, where y'all think this stuff come from? Y'all think this come? No, it's not. These are coming from high intellectual aboriginals. We are the creators. And we have a creator. These are facts. These are facts, family. So anybody that's not Aborigine, anybody that's not indigenous, that have that melanin in them, Yes, there are people in Asia right now that's black as you and I. Look just like us. Them are our brothers and sisters. There's people in Australia that's blacker than you and I. They look just like us. That's our brothers and sisters. There's people in Africa that's black as you and I, even blacker. They blue black. Them are our brothers and sisters. There is not one single square inch of this planet where our ancestors did not touch, family. So let's quit. Let's get on with all this. We come from one place and all life started in Africa. No, all life started everywhere by our ancestors. These are the facts, man. We have the highest education. We have the highest intellect. And don't get me wrong, we the highest in criminal shit too. Because we the best at everything we do. We love the best. We heal the best, but we kill the best. You see that? You see that? We give the best, but we steal the best. We some robbing, thieving people too. We can be very, very loving, but we can be very, very angry and evil. We can serve light and we can serve darkness the best. Because you have a God particle in you that a lot of people don't have. And this God particle is that neuromelanin, that melanin, that pheomelanin, that magnetite melanin, that calcite melanin. You have a covenant in you. The Bible calls it the covenant blood. That shit running through your veins right now, so-called black man, black woman. Right now. And I'm just not afraid to say that. I don't have no problem with nobody. But I'm pro my people. What's wrong with that? Don't mean I'm a racist because I'm pro my people. I love my people. And I'm pretty sure that y'all love y'all's, and I don't have no problem for that. I would feel weird if you didn't love your people and you wouldn't pro your people. I can't even trust you. You don't love your people? You don't love your stock that you come from? Of course, and I got a lot of them that hate what their ancestors did. Good, we got something in common. But you still have some type of love for them because that's the stock you come from. That's it. I'm just for my people. Nothing wrong with that. And we have a different diet. So we have to quit pushing this carnivore diet on our people because that's not our diet. That's another people's diet. We have to quit pushing religion, Christianity, and all this other bullshit on our people. That's not our, we were into spirituality, spirituality. These are different systems. We were into nature. We knew that nature was a reflection of God and we was a reflection of nature. So they make us God. We knew this stuff. We knew this stuff. We are required a different diet, family. And if you don't get right, you're going to get left. Flat out. And that's why our people is dying the way we are dying. Everything I said was facts. Please look it up. Again, for it on the record, I'm not on here preaching, racism. I'm not on here preaching prejudices, whatever you call it. I'm not on here talking about a people, down in the people. I'm here spitting science, genetical facts. If everything in the world, based off the genetics and their geographical location, have a different diet, you have a different diet too. So-called black man, black woman. Now, if y'all ready for these questions, type in some nines and we'll get it started. If y'all ready for this, get it started. Yes, you are peculiar, a special, a amazing people. Yeah, we ain't gonna even talk about how our dick's bigger. We ain't gonna even get into that, brother. But yes, we ain't gonna even get into that. And if you look at who got the smallest penises, it's the Asians. Their penises, and I'm not acting like you won't find a penis, Asian penis that got a 9-incher. I'm not finna act like that. I'd be a liar. But if you look on the average, most of them grow up to a 1.5-inch penis. The Asians. On the average for Caucasians, 4 to 5.5 inches. Then you get on an average to so-called black melanated people, we talking about 7 to 9 inches. But look what's been going on. When you get into the black man penis, all of a sudden we losing width and girth in inch. We done lost 2 inches in the last 10 years of width and girth. Like our penises is being attacked. And the so-called black man is losing his actual Y chromosome, which actually makes him a male. So it's like our genetics is being attacked. They're trying to kill our blackness. And when I say they, I'm not blaming it on, I'm saying they as the elites. I'm saying they as the 1%ers. I'm saying they as that. I'm not saying they as in all white people. I'm not on here creating race wars and shit. I'm just spitting facts. Yes, they weaponizing marijuana. They weaponizing alcohol. They weaponizing estrogen on us. They weaponizing every damn chemical known to man on our asses. Herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, genetically modified organisms in foods. They putting all types of vaccines in foods now. The world is becoming crazy with foods. These Frankenstein foods. And they are literally shortening your dicks. So we have to stay away from this shit. Literally, penises are reverting back to clitorises, y'all. That's what's happening. Y chromosomes is leaving. Man is growing boobs. Man hips are spreading. Man is growing ass now. Man can't grow beards anymore. If you look, we're going through a mutation process back to that 6-week mark to the black female. We are at war, y'all. We are at war. What about height? Your height is determined by your pituitary gland. Smoking at an early age, drinking at an early age, all of this will actually stop you from growing. That's what I did. Once you mess up the pituitary gland, that's your height factor. Your pituitary gland actually controls your height. All right, y'all ready? If y'all ready for these questions, type in some 9s. Y'all ready for these questions, type in some 9s. Yeah, I only debate my equals, y'all. I ain't gonna even say no names, cause I have all my information out there, family. Just look it up. Look it up. I got just go to my YouTube. I got so much stuff. Matter of fact, before we get into these questions, let me do this real quick. Oh man, my computer went dead. Give me 1 second, family. I see the 9s. We finna get to it. Let me plug this up real quick. I don't want this to go dead on y'all. We finna get to it. Let's pull out the cadavers. Let's have some fun with the toys I got in the background, family. Let's have some fun. For those that don't know, June the 3rd, I will be at Atlanta Clark University on Eventbrite. Go to Eventbrite or Google Eventbrite, Yahki Awaken Events. We're going to be at Clark University going over the Healing of Illusion we call Disease, which is my book that's coming out in July. A powerful book, the most powerful book in literature in the world. I'm telling y'all, when this drop, it's going to change. It's going to shake the fucking foundation of Earth when this book drop. I promise you that. I promise you that. But on the 3rd of June, we're going to be at Clark Atlanta University. Come check me out. You can buy the tickets off Eventbrite. All of the VIP tickets are sold out. But look, come out, get that knowledge. Bring your pen, bring your pad, bring your children, bring your wives, bring your husband, bring your cousin, everybody. Come check out this information. Sacred information that I cannot, talk to with everybody else. All right, with everybody else. What's crazy, y'all? I'm on here looking at all. Tell me why it's people with fake names and my picture popping up right now. The scammers are using my picture on this motherfucker, pretending to be in the comment board, telling y'all to follow them. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? All right, let's get it. All right, so look, just so happened to be the first question. The first question would be carnivore diet. It says, Shalom family. Have you heard about this new carnivore diet trend? Is where they only eat meat, eggs, and dairy. Nothing else. Now, I already told you about the meat. We got to talk about the meat. When you get into the dairy, so meat builds up something called uric acid. Uric acid causes all types of problem when it comes to the so-called melanated body that we're going to get into. Eggs builds up something called lactic acid. And dairy is the same thing as eggs. So we can't eat this stuff at all, y'all. Now, other people can eat these things, but don't get it twisted. Their bodies will start deteriorating in the long run as well. Their bodies will start deteriorating in the long run as well. So do not get it twisted. But for right now, they have certain genealogies that they can hold. They won't have such a mucus response like us. Soon as we eat this stuff, we get a mucosal response. We get systemic acidosis backed up. Our lymphatic systems become stagnated, and we start feeling the acid ash burn from eating these things. Theirs don't go on so quickly. So and think about it. When you eat these diets, you still going on a fast. When you eat only meat, When you eat only dairy and eggs, and that's your only diet is just dairy, eggs, and meat, and you cut out everything else, you still going on a fast. So you're going to start feeling better at first because you cut a lot of other things out of your diet. So you're going to see yourself losing weight. You're going to see you build a lot of muscle because you using secondhand proteins. So you're going to start seeing a change in your body, and it's going to give you the illusion, or it's going to give you the feeling of you feeling better. But if you keep on that diet for so long, and all that putrefaction and all that rotten thereof of these dead animal fleshes inside your intestines, you're going to start feeling the blowback and the ash from it, family. So it's only so long you can do. There's many of bodybuilders that's been on this carnivore diet, or that's been on this keto diet, have come to us because their kidneys are failing. And they say, I was on it for 4 years. I was feeling good, but my kidneys failing. My kidneys only operating at 57% now. So we starting to see already the blowback that's coming from it. It's going to catch up. It's even going to catch up with them, family. So now when you get into meat, meat is crazy. So meat come with something called heterocyclic amines, and what heterocyclic amines is basically a carcinogen, and a carcinogen is basically a cancer-causing molecule, and it's usually carbon. So heterocyclic amines actually is in all meats. I don't care if it's farm raised and you didn't put no type of steroids in it, you didn't put no type of antibiotics in it. You can farm raise this thing on organic seaweed. You can farm raise this thing on organic alpha sprouts. If you put a flame or a fire to it, it's going to produce a chard. And this chard is literally called heterocyclic amines. Heterocyclic amines is a carbon that actually mutates inside the flame, and it melts itself to the meat, and it goes into the tissues of the meat. And this is one of your number one cancer causing agent to meat. So if you want to eat meat, you have to be a carnivore and get any benefits from it. You have to eat it raw. You have to eat it just like the feline do. You can't put no fire to it. You see that? Because there ain't no damn pots and pans in nature. You can't fry it because it ain't no grease in nature. You see that? You can't flip it on a skillet because there is no spatula in nature, family. You see what I'm saying? So in order to truly even get the nutrients from it, you're going to have to get the nutrients from the actual blood. That's where the phytonutrients come from. You know what I'm saying? When you so we have to talk about this. So the blood feeds the cells of the body, family. The blood feeds the cells of the body all the phytonutrients and all the phytochemicals that it needs, right? So when a feline or a lion go track down a gazelle and bite into that gazelle, it's eating the blood because that's where all the nutrients at. Then it's getting secondhand protein from the animal, right? Then we're talking about the nervous system, which commands the cells of the body. So the nervous system commands and communicates with the cells. The parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, the central nervous system, the enteric or the intrinsic nervous system, the autonomic nervous system. These commands and communicates and talk to the cells of the body. Then you have that great lymphatic system, which is the sewage system that drains the cells of the body. So in order for you to truly get any type of healing constituents or healing modalities from the meat, you have to be a carnivore and you have to eat the meat raw because all of the goodies is in the blood. But what you do, you cook the blood into the meat and then you create heterocyclic amines, which char the meat and create a carcinogen. And this carcinogen is very, very cancerous, causing carbon, right? Not only that, you have something called polycystic aromatic hydrocarbons. And this is proven fact. Studies showing that polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon causes throat cancer and lung cancers. So you got a lot of black people that have never smoked a cigarette a day in their life, but they end up with breast cancer, lung cancer, and throat cancer, and they don't know why. And then they ended up doing an actual clinical study on this, and they seen that the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon was causing the cancer because they was around places that in restaurants that actually cook food. So even smelling is charred things. And they noticed that it was a lot of chop suey and Chinese rice places around where the people had caught breast cancer, lung cancer, and throat cancer. And then they found out that it actually was the polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. So not only cooking the food or cooking this meat causes cancer, but smelling the cookedness and the aromatic hydrocarbons, this aroma that's coming from the cooked meat, causes throat cancer. These are facts. Just look it up. And it's happening worldwide all the time, and ain't nobody talking about this. We are not made to truly cook our food. Am I telling you don't enjoy a cooked meal here and there? I'm not saying that I enjoy cooked meals. But am I cooking my food every day? No, I'm not. You see that? Am I mostly eating cooked food? No, I'm not. That's all I'm saying. So even the smell of cooking flesh, it's like that we are being punished for killing God, innocent animals and eating them, y'all. Because there's no part of that animal that's good for you unless you eat it raw, and you dare not do that. You dare not do that because that's going to make you barbaric. That's going to make you uncivilized. That's going to make you everything that you are not. See that? And then what you do? You get it. You put put it in a pot in the pan. You prepare it. You marinate it. You get all these herbs and all these spices. You get paprika. You get sea salt. Yeah, you get parsley. You get oregano. You get all these different cilantro. You get all these different herbs because you assimilate more to a frugivore than an herbivore than a carnivore. And you put it on the actual meat because you know in your subconscious mind that you can't eat it raw anyway because you are made to eat fruits. These are the facts. These are the facts. So the first thing I'm going to say about the meats is causing, the meat burns polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and heterocyclic amines. These are your number one cancer causing agents that's in the meat. Then the meat breaks down and produces something called uric acid. We know that uric acid causes gout. We know that uric acids cause coagulation of the blood. We know uric acid brings on a systemic blowback of the mucosal membrane. So you get a lot of mucus and expectorants coming from these things because the body is trying to actually expectorate all of these different particles out of the body because these are foreign things that's not supposed to be in the body. And then when you think about it spiritual wise or energy and motion or what we call emotion, the melanin neurotransmitters, yes. The neurotransmitters, yes. Animals have neurotransmitters too. These neurotransmitters get cooked within the meat and then you eat them. Most of these meats have died through stress. And you're eating that meat and then you're becoming stressed out because you're taking on the neurotransmitters of these animals' flesh. You see how they doing these people? How they doing these animals? They shooting them in their head. Animals going down crying before they get killed and ripped apart. And then you eat these meats and you take on these angry birds. Then you start acting like an angry bird to call them chicken. Or you take on this pig nature and you start acting like this pig or this swine. You take on this buffalo nature. You start acting like this cow, this gluttonous cow. You start taking on the actual emotional nature of the animal you consume and eat all day. Stress meat give you a stressed body. And you wonder why your body is in a constant state of fight or flight. So get off the meat. Get off the meat, family. Then we're talking about dairy. Look, dairy is another carcinogen. Dairy actually causes asthma. Most asthmatic clients that we have come from long history of eating dairies, eating ice cream, and drinking that milk. Milk is not good for the bone. Milk actually strips the bone of calcium, y'all. So milk don't really have calcium in it. Then when you look at milk before it's treated, now, don't get me wrong. Raw goat milk, if you look at raw goat milk that haven't had heat to it or haven't been pasteurized is actually alkaline. But that's for a baby goat. That's not for you. That's not for you. If you need milk, guess what you have? Your mother's tit. But if you older than 3, then that milk bad for you too. And that's called galactose. So all these dairy products is coming from milk. These milks is actually coming from either the breast of the woman or they're talking about the embryos or what you would call eggs from these chicks and from these reptilians. We're not supposed to be eating these things, family. It causes lactic acid. Lactic acid creates something called an anaerobic process inside the body where it smothers the cells and it keeps the mitochondria producing ATP. So what's going to happen is going to choose a shorter currency of energy, which is AMP or ADP. Adenosine monophosphate or adenosine diphosphate. This causes fermentation, yeast buildup inside the cells or candida albicans inside the cells. And this causes the cells to mutate and to become malignant. And this is where you get cancer from. So you start seeing a lot of cancer associated cases is associated to lactose, associated to eating and drinking milk and dairy products. Then you start seeing a lot of cancer is associated to meat. Yes, polycyclic, heteroamine hydrocarbons, all these different long words they're showing you ain't supposed to be eating this stuff. So check this out. Let me read this. Shalom, shalom, family. Shalom. Have you heard about this new carnivore diet trend? Is where they only eat meat, eggs, and dairy. Nothing else. Someone close to me, look, Caucasian, okay, he even put parentheses on it. Someone close to me, Caucasian, shalom family, don't be listening to that Caucasian because y'all are 2 different molecular structure. Y'all might be the best of friends, but don't think because y'all the best of friends that y'all share the same cells and bacteria. Y'all probably share a little bit of bacteria, but your bacteria, the diversity of your bacteria is very different from his. So he can eat that, but you can't. Y'all gonna have a different type of expectorant that come from y'all body by trying to eat the same thing. I understand that y'all are friends, but you got to remember that y'all have a different biochemical molecular makeup. It says my Caucasian is on this diet and he has been for a year. It's a she. She says she feels great. I bet she does. And she have lost weight. I bet she did. She is just starting to incorporate blueberries back into her diet. Researchers are saying it reduces health issues and inflammation. It does in them. It does. I got all the paperwork on it. It does, but it don't in you. It causes inflammation in you. It causes health issues in you. You see that? It says, I don't think it is the meat that is causing the healing. I don't think it's the meat either, but rather the absence of many other toxin foods and food combinations. Yeah, because when you go on a carnivore diet, you go on a mono diet. What mono means is one, dieting. So a mono fruit diet will be eating only apples for a period of time. Mono fruit diet will be eating oranges for a period of time. Mono meat diet will be eating just nothing but meat. Mono vegetable diet is eating nothing but a certain vegetable. I'm going to go on a 12-day kale fast. That's mono eating. You see what I'm saying? It says being stripped from the diet. So it looks as though the meat is healing you, but it's not. Could you do a video on this topic one day? Thank you for your time. Shalom and blessings. Shalom, shalom, Baruch atah, Yahki. I did a video. It was talking about the biological difference between white, black people, and Asians. It's actually on my YouTube channel. Check it out. We went deep into it. I put out, literally, it's so many articles and everything that I did for this family. So if y'all got any questions for this particular topic that I'm talking about now, y'all can ask them and I'll answer them. If not, we're going to move on to the next question. But what you can do is just go to my YouTube. Go to my YouTube, Yahki Awaken. I think I got like 140,000 followers on there now or something like that. That's my real YouTube page. Get on that deal and really, really, really go through that video. It will blow your mind. Look this stuff up. They said that video was fire. Yeah, that video was amazing. That video was amazing. Let's see. What y'all, any questions? That video was deep. Thank y'all, man. Y'all got to really go check that video out. I'm going to have Jay chop it up so we can put it on YouTube. Do blueberries cause inflammation? We did talk about blueberries, so I'll answer that. Blueberries causes inflammation in certain sense. So when you look at a blueberry, blueberry is actually acidic. Just like you have key limes, that's actually acidic. Apples are acidic. They had a 5.4. But when you look at blueberries, even though they go in acidic, when it goes through its H3O arrangement in the body, it turns out to be alkaline forming. So blueberries might cause a little bit irritants to the mucosal membrane going in. But once it goes down and it digests properly and it goes through that pyloric sphincter and you get inside that duodenum and it uptake by that bacteria through the blood capillaries and it goes throughout your body. Once it fuses with the cells and go through its metabolic process, it becomes alkaline forming. So blueberries is amazing. Blueberries actually get rid of inflammation. Now check this out. We notice that Caucasians say that blueberries are inflammatory. You don't never hear that from so-called African Americans. Why is that? Biologically different. So no, blueberries, it might cause a little irritants of the mucosal membrane, but just the same thing as green apples, the same thing as lemons, the same thing as key limes. You know what I'm saying? They're expectorants. They're acidic, meaning that they are citric. This is called citric acid, the Krebs cycle. It'll go into a citric electrical cycle. This is a astringent fruit. It pulls and it tugs on the cells to relieve the cells or create a fontanelle of a cell, or what you'll call an alternative route of elimination. These are the foods and fruits you need to eat when you got cancer because it's an expectorant. It's going to pull and tug at the cells to get all that mucus out, all that carbon dioxide out, all the H2O2 out. They haven't been converted over into H2O. So, blueberries is amazing, family. Don't let them hit you with that okie doke. Don't let them hit you with that okie doke. And then they call a lot of food nightshades too. There's nightshades for them. There's not nightshades for us. That's what I'm saying. We are different people. So we need different medicine. We need different food. We need different education. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not even saying you can't have friends. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we different. So things that we consume should be different. That's it, family. That's it. So I hope to answer that. All right, now check this out. So the next question is this. It says, I am needing help. I am having some health issues and I really need some directions. I am sick and I am tired of feeling how I do. Look, I just did a video talking about when you truly sick and tired, when you truly done living this lifestyle, you change it and you become healthy. You become alkaline. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. It says, I'm truly sick of living, feeling how I do. I have a digestive gut issues with heartburn. So we see that she have digestive gut issues and is giving her heartburn. I can tell you right now that you're missing magnesium. You have something called the cardiac sphincter that I speak about all the time. The reason why it's called cardiac because it's close to the heart. Sphincter just means door. Magnesium, open and close that door. This is how important minerals is. So if you're missing magnesium or if the magnesium is not getting uptaken right because you don't have enough calcium inside your bloodstream, then this door will remain open. And when you lay down and go to sleep at night, that acid will leak out that door and it'll actually burn your esophagus, and you think it's burning your heart, but it's not. So that's heartburn. So you missing the mineral magnesium off back. So if you missing magnesium, I'm pretty sure you're probably eating food that have magnesium in it, but you're not uptaking it. Showing me that you have an autonomic nervous system issue. So we need to go after the autonomic nervous system because the autonomic nervous system is actually in control of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. This is your mineral utilization. This is your saccharide metabolism. These are your steroid metabolism. All of this is the adrenal glands. Let me get the adrenal glands real quick, y'all. All of this is done by the adrenals. These little bad babies right here, they actually the size of walnuts, and they sit on top of the kidneys or sit on top of the renals. And these things literally bring electricity to the kidneys so the kidneys can filtrate all the metabolic waste that builds up in the toxemia that builds up from the cells. But man, they do much more. They metabolize and they utilize. This is your utilization part of your body, the autonomic nervous system. It literally utilizes the sugars in your body, what they call saccharides, monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides, which means many sugars, your amino acids intake. They send out melanin neurotransmitters in so-called African Americans, and they send out neurotransmitters in all other species of people, y'all. So the adrenal glands is amazing. If these go down, everything go down, and the kidneys go down. And the kidneys is used to filtrate through the nephrons, which we'll call lymphatic waste, uric acid, carbonic acid, bicarbonate, all these things that you don't need built up into the cellular mechanism. The kidney uses the buffering system in the blood and the lymphatic system to get rid of these things. So you have an adrenal issue. So off back, we're going to say adrenal. So let me get my pen. I'm going to write this down, and then we're going to create you an actual herbal program. So we know that you got adrenal issues. Write this down, y'all. Adrenal issues. Not only that, so we got digestive issues, heartburn, constipation. So she's not able to defecate or use the bathroom. That means she's lacks hydration. So we know that she's dehydrated. Let's write that down. She's very dehydrated, meaning she's lacking electrolytes and she's lacking minerals. But remember, she can't be uptaking minerals because her adrenals down. We know her adrenals down because she's missing magnesium and she's getting heartburn because her cardiac sphincter is not closing. Let me show y'all the cardiac sphincter real fast. Let me show y'all the cardiac sphincter. Show you what the cardiac sphincter look like. Show y'all this all the time. Let's take off these lungs. Let's take off the heart. All right. Let's take out this stomach. Y'all see this diaphragm? This is called the diaphragmatic muscle. And the diaphragmatic muscle, it actually pushes out the lungs so you can breathe and draw in oxygen. And then up under that is, of course, the liver. That's what the diaphragm or the diaphragmatic muscle sits on top of. And it's pretty tight, so we got to pull that liver out. That mug in there, too. Yeah, there you go. So now we see in the stomach. You see the intestines, you see the ileum, the cecum, the jejunum. You see the transverse colon. This is the transverse colon right here. Now, when you look at the stomach, the top of the stomach have a door, and it reaches the esophagus, if you can look up in there. Y'all see this hole? When this reached, this is actually called the cardiac sphincter. Now, the only thing that closes this flap or closes this little door is called the cardiac sphincter, but you need magnesium to relax or tighten up this flap. Magnesium is used as a firing piston to actually control the muscles in this area to literally constrict or to dilate this mechanism right here. So when you missing magnesium, you can never get this door to close. Well, we know that the fungus of the stomach, and we know that the fungus in the body of the stomach produces something called goblet cells, and these goblet cells mixes with hydrochloric acid and pepsin, and this creates your acid to break down your food. So it's important that the door stay closed, because if the door don't stay closed, then that acid starts backing up and passing the cardiac sphincter and burning the esophagus, and this is actually where you get your heartburn from. So we got to fix that. So minerals, adrenals, and dehydration. You lacking electrolytes, which means you lacking minerals. All right. What else? It says ulcers. See that? I ain't even read this yet. Ulcers. We know why you got ulcers. Now, everything you saying too screams Helicobacter pylori. It sounds like that you have a bacteria infection, and it's Helicobacter pylori. Helicobacter pylori is actually a good bacterial when it's in the right side of the stomach. When it's in the duodenum, it does good in the stomach. So when it's in the duodenum, it's amazing. When it's in the transverse colon, it's amazing. When it starts getting into the stomach, what it does is it actually starts eating away at the mucosa membrane that lines the inside of the stomach. And that mucosa membrane is literally what's separating the acids from chewing through the stomach tissues, or the stomach tissue cells, and causing leaky gut and causing all these burns and bruises in the stomach. So you need to get checked for Helicobacter pylori, or what they call H. pylori. So we're going to write that down too, because you need to get checked for that. Helicobacter pylori, you need to get checked. All right, it says, and etc. It says, I have dieted and I have done everything and I have not lost a pound. Now check this out, family. So we see she dieting, she's fasting, and she haven't lost a pound. Something must be wrong with what, family? What we gonna look at? What controls the metabolic process of the body? What controls the leptin cells? What controls the adipose, the adipose cells? What controls the fat ratio? What controls the digestive process of men and women? The thyroid gland. So we need to check her thyroid and her parathyroid, because the thyroid is in control of the metabolitic process of the body. So we already know we're going to have to go after the thyroid. And the best way to go after the thyroid is through what? Iodine. We see that she's not losing too much weight. We see she ain't losing weight rapidly. She can't lose weight. So we know that this probably is hypothyroidism. So we need to add iodine and bromine to our diet. So we already know we're going to have her on some sea vegetables, and everybody want to run to sea moss. I don't run to sea moss. I'm going to run to kelp. I'm going to run to dose. Yes, kelp. Dose. I love dose. I love kelp. I'm going to run the club moss. I'm going to run the fucus, or what they call bladderwrack. All these things have way more iodine than actually sea moss, family. So we're going to run there. So we automatically know that we're going to put her on the thyroid and parathyroid tincture, which is off my site. We know that we're going to put her on some iodine. We know we're going to get her on sea vegetables, which is on the site. All right. And it says, boom, boom, boom. It says, I haven't lost a pound, and I also got PCOS. And she got polycystic ovarian syndrome, meaning she's building up a bunch of cysts on her ovaries. Now, this going to go back to the pituitary and the thyroid, because remember, the pituitary gland is actually governing over a woman and a male's reproductive organ, and by way of LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and VLDL cholesterol, these is what creates your sexual hormones. We know that polycystic ovarian syndrome actually comes from the overproduction or the overload of estrogen by way of something called the corpus luteum. So we know that the corpus luteum and estrogen is acidic. So she got too many acids in her body. Everything that's going on right now is screaming acid, acid, acids. So right now we got the adrenal glands down. I'm pretty sure she's backed up systemically, because the lymph ain't working properly. Her adrenals down. She's very dehydrated. I'm pretty sure it's hypothyroidism going on. So what I'm going to offer you for real, I think you need to do an all-fruit diet. That's what I would do if I was you. I would do an all-fruit diet. I would do fruits that's very, very astringent, which is the blueberries. I would do mangoes. I would do key limes. I would do grapefruits, anything that's astringent, green apples, to start pulling all of these acids out of the tissues. And then you need the geogenetic therapeutic package level 1 from off the site. And within that site, when you go on the website, just put in all these issues. And what my team would do, they will customize the package for all of these different issues that you got going on. So you go to www.Yahki. Matter of fact, let me go here for y'all. www.yahkiawaken.com. I'm on there. And when you go there, this is what you will see. Let me change my camera. So www.yahkiawaken.com, which is right here. This is the website. It's working amazing. It's working fine. Sign up for a free membership. The membership is free, y'all. Membership is super, super free. And then click on geogenetic therapy. When you click on geogenetic therapy, it's going to tell you all about our geogenetic therapy, family. And then you see all the package that you can pick from. You're going to need geogenetic therapy level 1. Once you click on this and put it in your cart, you can do a payment plan or whatever you need to do. But make sure when you get to that note part, you put in there everything you're going through. That way my team can actually customize the herbal package for you. And look, you'll start seeing that the herbs is for the healing of the nation, family. The herbs is for the healing of the nation. So you need an all-fruit diet. You don't need an all-fruit juice diet. You need to do half H3O2, which is fruit juices, and half H2O. That's what you need to do. You need to do all raw fruits. And in this all raw fruits, out of 100% of them fruits, I say 60% of it needs to be what you would call astringent fruits. Name of the fruits I just named, which is your citric fruits. If you don't know what citric fruits is, just Google citric fruits and they'll tell you, and that's what it need to be. Now, for those that's asking, it's www. I got y'all. www.yahkiawaken.com. And since we on here, I want to do another little commercial real quick. For those that don't know, I'm going to be at Clark Atlanta University on June 3rd, 2023. That's in, I believe, 9 days, y'all. Just go to eventbrite.com and y'all will see it. The HBCU Health and Liberation Tour. We talking about my book. We talking about a whole lot of stuff. Again, the VIP tickets is all sold out, y'all. So we all sold out of the VIP tickets, but it's still tickets there. You do not have to be a student to come. If you is a student, you do get a discount though. But you don't have to be a student to come out to Atlanta. And look, let's have a very, very great time. Let's get to know each other and let's get this knowledge on. Let's get this knowledge on. All right, let's get back to it. I'm talking too fast. If y'all think I'm talking too fast, just catch us on a recap and slow it down and pause it. But I'm not going to stop my channeling to please y'all. I'm not. If y'all got any questions so far with the thyroid, any question with the digestive system, any question with our constipation or ulcers, any question with our PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, y'all can ask them now. And she said she even lost her sex drive. She just want to feel like herself again. That's exactly what I just recommended. That's what you need to get. Yeah, if I'm talking too fast, catch the recap. Just press pause. That's what it's for. Y'all got any questions for this particular case? If not, I'm going to move on. Let me write X's right here if I don't have to read them again. And I'm going to get a few of y'all questions as well once we get up out of here. Once I'm done with these. Okay, y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all asking other questions, but y'all don't have no questions for this particular case. How do you get rid of cysts? That's a good question. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, a cyst. If you look at a cyst is full of mucus, and a cyst is full of dead tissue or dead cellular tissue. That's why if you pop a cyst, what oozes out of it? Mucus oozes out and a little bit of blood. So we see that the cyst is the way. Remember, I don't believe in disease. I think disease is an illusion. I think that the body have a miraculous way of healing itself. And when it does that, it gives itself symptomologies. And these symptomologies, the allopathic community and the homeopathic community, and some naturopathic community actually call this disease. I believe and I know and I have proven that these symptomologies is not diseases at all, but the symptomologies is actually the body natural way of trying to heal itself, kicking on a detoxification mechanism. So what the body is doing when it creates tumor cysts, instead of these things going into the bloodstream and changing the potential hydrogen in the blood and killing you of acidosis or alkalosis, what happened was it will compact all these things into the tissues and then go through something called angiogenesis, where it will borrow blood supply for it can actually put this stuff in a trash bag for it won't harm the rest of the body. It localizes the area. That's all inflammation is too. So the localization of dead toxemia, of unutilized minerals, of toxins, of acids creates a cyst or a tumor. So a cyst and a tumor is the body way of trying to heal itself. How to get rid of it is by hydration. When you hydrate the body, it starts breaking up coagulation and agglomeration of the cells. So hydration, opening up the kidneys and moving that lymph. We have to move the lymphatic system, because if the lymphatic system is backed up, the lymphatic system is a expectorant. That's what gets rid of all of the different toxemias. That's what get rid of unutilized and unwanted minerals. That's what get rid of dead tissue cells and dead blood cells, dead white blood cells. That's what gets rid of phagocytosis cells. That's what get rid of decayed macrophages. It's the lymphatic system. So you have to move the lymph. But you can't move the lymph if the adrenals is not producing something called acetylcholine, which is produced by acetyl-CoA, which is also kicked on by an enzyme called acetylcholinesterase. So you have to bring all these mechanisms together. Stagnation is going to stop this. But guess what breaks up stagnation? Hydration. Somebody type that in. See that? Hydration breaks up stagnation. You need to hydrate the body. Somebody type that up. Hydration breaks up stagnation. Who got it? Hydration breaks up stagnation. Yes, hydration breaks up stagnation. So that's how you get rid of your cysts. And of course, you need your astringent herbs. The herbs gonna pull, they're gonna tug, they're gonna push, they're gonna purge what the body, what the hydration is breaking up. Good job, y'all. Good job. All right, so the next one is this, y'all. All right, this says, it says, hi, peace. Peace, love, light, and healing. My name is Blase Blase. I've been experiencing some symptoms within my body, and I went to the doctor to find out what was going on, and they couldn't even give me answers. Sounds familiar, don't it? Ain't this what that's all they don't never give answers. They don't never give answers. It says they told me that all my tests they performed were normal and nothing out of the ordinary. Now, I talk about this all the time. When you go to the allopathic community and you go to these doctors and you go to these doctors' offices and you go to these emergency rooms, you are being treated like a 40-year-old Caucasian male. That is the standard and range that they go by. So this sound like it's finna be a woman just from how she's typing. And I'm pretty sure it's a so-called black woman. So imagine a black woman, the age of 20 to 25, going to the allopathic communities because she is afraid of her life because she's suffering from symptomologies. And when she get there, they treat her beautiful, melanated black body, 25-year-old melanated black body, as a 40-year-old Caucasian white male. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. You see that? So then we start getting the levels is off. Blood pressure high. See that? A1C high. Pre-diabetic, because you have more sugar content and more carbon in your body than a lot of them do. You stressed out because you're producing too much catalase, but catalase is used as a buffering system for your melanin. So everything, when they test you, everything come back berserk and bizarre, but it's really not. It's just that your biochemical makeup is different. So you will look at a lot of things and then you get fed the placebo, and the placebo literally gives you the illusion of dis-ease. So now you really feeling fucked up. I mean, messed up, y'all. My bad. I'm trying to stop cursing so much or cussing so much because this really ain't a curse word. So, and I'm not saying that this is your issue, but usually it's that though. Usually you trick yourself into dis-ease. That's why we need our own hospitals, family. I'm just saying. So it says they checked everything and everything was normal, but she's saying something is wrong with her, right? So it says my symptoms include. Now check this out. I love the way she did this. My symptoms include. So now whenever this is how you learn healing, y'all. Whenever you hear the word symptom, automatically think natural detoxification mechanism. If in my book teaches y'all this, to switch out certain words. Chapter 30 is going to be, chapter 30. Chapter 30 going to teach you how to change your words up. In Healing the Illusion We Call Disease book, written by Yahki Raphael the Great, you know. But chapter 30 talks about how switching up certain words would change your perception on how to look at disease and how to look at reality. So I'm teaching y'all one of the jewels now before the book even out, family. Y'all gotta love me. So look, one of them is whenever you think of the word symptom or wherever you see symptom, automatically replace it with detoxification mechanism. This gonna change the whole game. Watch this. Check this out. And let me show you why. I'm going to read it first the regular way, then I'm going to read it in my language. It says, my symptoms includes occasional pain in my side after urination, itching, change of urine from time to time, pain or what I feel like inflammation in my right foot, occasional abdominal pain after bathroom usage, usually shedding of the hair, facial breakouts, which I never had before. Now check this out. Let's change it up and see how this mechanism changed. My detoxification symptoms include pain in my right side after urination, itching. See that? My detoxification symptom. I see changes in my urine, pain like inflammation in my right foot. Now we able to look and we're like, hold on now. Inflammation is the body actually localizing the area and swelling that area. And then I'm going to throw the body into a fever, because the fever is going to thin the blood and I can get more goodies or healing constituents in the circulatory system to go to that swelling or the inflamed place to heal the body. See, these are detoxification mechanisms, family. This is a expectorant pathway. See, this is not really symptom of disease. This is the body know how to open up the meridian pathways, know how to open up the NRF2 pathways to heal itself, and it creates symptoms that are actually detoxification mechanisms. I'm telling you. Look, when this book's drop, boy, I'm telling you. But anyway, so let's get to it. So she's saying her symptoms include occasional pain in the side after urination. So I'm thinking if you got pain in your side, whether it's the left or the right side, we have to be thinking, urinary tract. They probably didn't check that. They probably checked that. So you probably tested negative for any type of bacteria inside your urinary tract lining. So the next thing I'm going to say, it might be a bladder infection. They probably checked that too and didn't see nothing. So I wonder if they gave you an x-ray and made you drink that red dye and looked at your kidneys, because it sounds like that you might be suffering from kidney stones and you got a lot of oxalate calcification going on there. And you need to get this calcification and these kidney stones out of the kidneys. Or it could be pelvic inflammatory disease. You could have some type of itis inside of the pelvic floor area. I don't know, because you ain't gave me all of that information, but we know you're dealing with acids. We know you're dealing with a blowback because you're feeling pain, period. The only thing that burns is acids. Whenever you hear about pain, whenever you hear about degeneration, whenever you hear about rips, tears, we're either talking about trauma or we're talking about acidic waste being left behind on the cells. So always, acids is going to always be that root. Always be that root, family. All right. Occasional abdominal pain, bathroom usage, that's because you backed up and you constipated. Shedding of the hair, usually it's acids in the hair or something that's wrong with your thyroid. Usually when the thyroid go down or you have a lot of radiation that's hitting the thyroid, we start seeing the hair shed and go out. Other than that, it's acids that's built up in the cranial tissues. It shows up as a sign of dandruff at first. Then this dandruff hardens and it look like yeast. And then you start seeing the actual hair layer get broken off. Or you actually have mucus that's in the actual that's in the follicles of the hair, and it's stopping the hair from protruding out of the scalp. So you either dealing with one thing, you already know you're dealing with acids, but you might be dealing with the response to acids, which is mucus. Remember, mucus is not the cause of disease, y'all. Mucus is actually the body defense mechanism. Mucus only come in the presence of acids. Bacteria pleomorphosize themselves into parasites in the presence of acids. So what's changing the medium is the acids, family. That's what's changing the medium. It's the acids. So if you get rid of the acids, notice you get rid of the parasites. You get rid of the acids, notice you get rid of the bacteria. You get rid of the acids, notice you get rid of all of the pain that you're going through. So it's acids. That is what's causing all of these issues. And that's caused by the lack of what? Oxygen. Okay. She got a lot of stuff going on, y'all. So adamant after usage, usually shedding of the hair, never heard before, hand breaking out on my fingers and tears and rips. So now we're seeing another detoxification mechanism. She's breaking out on her skin. So now we see that she's getting rashes and stuff on the skin. Whenever we start seeing the skin expectorate or the skin starting to eliminate, this is the skin doing its best to get rid of toxemia for it won't hit the bloodstream. So you'll go to the allopathic community. They're going to call this detoxification mechanism a symptom, and they're going to say it's a skin disorder. But in fact, it's not a skin disorder. It's actually the skin expectorating, trying to get rid of all the defecation of the cells. Cells poop, cells pee. They have to get rid of this stuff by the lymphatic system. That is the sewage system of the body. If the sewage system is backed up, then the skin is going to act as a third kidney, which is the largest organ on the body, and it's going to start eliminating toxins out. What this looked like to the naked eye that have been programmed by the allopathic community is skin disorders and skin disease. So let's not call these rashes or you broke out. You didn't break out. Your skin is doing a good job and it's taking a poop. We have to change our perception of how we look at disease, family. We gotta change it. You see what I'm saying? It says rips and tears. And she says she got rips and tears of her skin. We know that the parathyroid. So the thyroid gland is in control of the metabolic process of the body. It's in control of actually the temperature. It's literally called the basal temperature of the body. The thyroid is in control of giving you fevers to either heat up the bloodstream to kill off bacteria or either to bring things into the circulatory system so it thins out the blood. The thyroid is in control of either for your weight gain or your weight loss. The thyroid is like the gear shift of the body. But now she's talking about she having weak tissue tears in her skin. Now we talking about something called the parathyroid, which is these two parathyroids, parathyroid glands that actually sits on the back of the thyroid, and that's in control of something called calcitonin. And calcitonin is used to keep your skin tight. You know what I'm saying? This is your tissues, your secondary tissues, your ligaments and things like that. So look, we're going to have to do a glandular cleanse on her. We're going to cleanse up her glandular highway. It says hand dryness. That's because you're dehydrated. Whenever you get dry skin, that means you're dehydrated. Body boils. So her body is creating boils, y'all. Boils now. So you have something called cysts and tumors. These are usually trash bags that creates on the inside of the body when the body's trying to get rid of all the toxemias. Then you have boils. Boils is usually created on the outside of the body, and that's the body trying to get rid of what again? Trash, waste. So pimples, tumors, boils, acne, cysts, styes, all these things are trash cans. And your body is packing away all that shit into the trash can for you won't harm the blood. That's what's happening. So these are not symptoms of sicknesses. These are symptoms of natural detoxification. It's all the same stuff, y'all. Same stuff. Just call it a epidermal trash can, because that's what it is. It's a trash bag. It's a trash bag. It says high blood pressure. We know blood pressure is the kidneys and adrenals. The bottom part is always diastolic. The top part is always systolic. Systolic is the top number, which is, they say it's supposed to be 120, and they say that the bottom number is supposed to be 80. I say it's supposed to be about 120 to 125. The bottom part is supposed to be 70 to 80. Systolic, diastolic. This is called the cardiac kick. And this is how you get your blood pressure. All blood pressure is when the blood flows through the arteries and it pushes itself against the wall. That pressure against the wall is what's going to raise. All this is by the actual systolic, this top number, the cardiac kick. Because remember, this is your utilization tissue. The adrenal glands, the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. It's called autonomic for a reason. These are things that runs on autopilot, family. So what I'm going to recommend for you, man, you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on. What I recommend for you, for real, I think that you need to do a geogenetic level 1 as well. Geogenetic level 1, I don't want to do all fruit with you. I think you should do all raw. And you should do 50% fruit, 50% vegetables. And make sure it's all organic, though. All organic. Stay away from the herbicides, the insecticides, and the pesticides. That's what I would do. And you need to be drinking at least 45 ounces of H2O a day. And then the next day, do 45 ounces of fruit juice if you can. It says any guidance on what these symptoms are. I'll tell you what these symptoms are. These symptoms are your body healing itself. And what can I do to begin my healing process? I just gave it to you. The geogenetic therapy level 1 is what I would do. If that was me, I would put myself on an all raw diet, 50% fruits, 50% vegetables. Any recommendations on air purifiers? I know a good air purifier. It's called the Viva. VEVA. That's a very good air purifier that you can get. Also, Google natural air purifiers like the spider plants and, monkey grass and all. You have a lot of different type of plants that you can bring inside of your household that will purify the air for you. It says for the environment and any recommendations on the correct type of water methods to install if you're not in an area surrounded by wells or have your own land. What you can do is, I like Pelican water filtration systems, but a lot of people say that them filtration systems is too expensive. So it's something called Aquasana. Aquasana got a good one called the Rhino. So just go to aquasana.com. It's AQUASAUNA.com. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on the Rhino system. They got stuff for your tub. They got filtration systems for your sink, for your shower heads, for everything. And buy that. And I'm not getting paid by them for saying that. I just want you to know that. I'm not getting paid for that. They didn't pay me to even shout them out. But they do got some good equipment there. It says, I am also interested in your teeth and gum restoration products. Go on the website, www.yahkiawaken.com. Click on hygiene, and then my tooth and gum restoration powder will pop up. All right, do y'all got any questions so far with that? That was a long case right there. And after this, I'm going to ask some of y'all questions. We'll get back to this another day. I'm finna ask y'all some questions. Well, y'all finna ask me some questions. I do need to ask y'all some questions too. We're gonna quiz. Y'all got any questions? I don't see none. How long I been live on here? I've been live down to 2 hours. All right, family. For some reason, my comment board is not loading up again. What's going on? Can y'all still see me? Am I still live? Can y'all see me? I'm going to come out and come back in, family. So this next segment, y'all can ask any question y'all want, and I'll answer it. Then we got to get up out of here. So I'll be back. Give me 2 seconds.